you can get 3 to 4 times as many booked meetings from your cold outreach if you reply to every single lead within 5 minutes. This has been one of the biggest changes we've made to our process over the last year at our agency. Revenue Boost is really focusing on speed to lead. And now Instantly AI just rolled out a new feature, the AI reply agent, that just made this like way, way easier than how we were doing it. So I'm super pumped. I'm just going to walk you through how the tool works and how we're starting to use it. So first, like, this is really important because, over the last year, we actually hired a dedicated inbox manager just to monitor the inbox and make sure that we could reply to leads from our cold email campaigns super, super fast. And this is such a hugely important leverage point in the funnel because a lot of times I might say when I'm like looking at someone else's cold email campaign or auditing a campaign for one of our consulting clients, I might see that normally like a lot of people might get 10 to 20% of their leads, like the positive replies, to actually book a call. And we've seen like as high as 50 to 60% of our leads for our clients book calls when we reply really, really fast, usually within like 5 minutes, 10 minutes at an absolute max. So we've seen firsthand that this has made such a difference. But obviously, like, not everyone's going to have a dedicated SDR to be able to reply to leads. And even with that, even with our dedicated SDR, we still have leads slip through the cracks because, first of all, an SDR can only work 8 hours a day, but now this AI agent instantly works 24 hours a day, right? And also, even during the day, they might be busy with like a meeting or replying to another lead, or they might be on a lunch break, going to the bathroom, right? So even with like a dedicated salesperson to reply to all of your leads, you're still going to miss a lot of opportunities. So really, really excited about this new feature that they just rolled out. We just started playing around with it and testing it out. So I'm just going to share real quick what we found so far and how it works and how you can use it as well. But yeah, definitely excited for the reply agent. Just to clarify, this is going to basically only reply to the positive replies that you get from your Instantly campaigns. So every inbound lead you get, this is going to be able to reply within minutes. And again, that makes like such a huge difference in how many of those leads actually book calls. And honestly, like, I think this is pretty neglected for most people. I find that most business owners and most marketers doing cold email, like, everyone obsesses over getting more leads. And obviously you want to get as many leads as possible, right? But there's such a low hanging fruit to get more of the leads you already have to convert better. Because again, if you get 3 times the amount of leads you have to convert into meetings, and you're increasing that lead to appointment ratio by 3x, then you're getting 3 times as many booked calls and 3 times as much revenue generated without having to send more emails, spend money on more inboxes and lists. So you're taking the same amount of time you've spent and the same amount of marketing dollars you've spent, but you're stretching it 3 times farther. So that's why I think speed to lead is so important and why we've really doubled down on it. But again, we were doing it the hard way in the past, and now we're moving fully to AI inbox management thanks to Instantly's epic new reply agent. So basically the way that it works, it really only took me like a few minutes to set it up. I'm going to walk through how to set it up. Basically, you just create your agents. It works on a credit-based system, so it just basically charges you credits per reply. But either way, it's still a lot cheaper than having to hire a dedicated SDR like we did in the past. And then this is important. So it gives you 2 options when you set up the AI inbox manager. There's human in the loop, which means that the AI feature in Instantly is going to it's going to write a reply for you. It's going to draft it, and then it's going to give you the opportunity to review it and approve it or edit it, right? And then the second option is autopilot, which is where it just replies to people without needing you to check anything, and it just is fully autonomous. Now, the goal is to get it fully autonomous because that's how you're going to get that 24/7 lead management and that super quick speed to lead. But how we're using this, how we're testing it out right now, is just using human in the loop first. And that's because you want to make sure that you've like refined your AI and that you've like optimized like the prompting for it so that it's writing the replies you want, right? You don't want to send like a bad reply to a good lead or have like some of the information wrong when you're trying to like answer their questions. So I recommend doing what we're doing with this, which is have human in the loop, still have the human involved, and have the chance to optimize the replies. That way you can see if you need to like edit your training or edit the AI prompt for Instantly, which I'll show you how to do next in just a minute. And then once you see that like the majority of replies, like maybe 90% of the replies are like good to go, and then you don't need to edit them, then you can just switch it to fully autonomous. But make sure you're just, at least for the first week or two, doing human in the loop, and longer if you need be. And these are all the settings so we can handle follow-ups. I was surprised by this, but this is pretty useful. I was surprised that it's smart enough to be able to do this, but it can actually reply to out of office emails, and it can schedule a reply for when that person comes back from their vacation. So Now, all of those leads that you wasted because they were out of office, we can actually do something with. And this is pretty cool too. I'm going to show you in a minute some example of like real replies that Instantly's AI has come up with the reply agent. But just so you know, it actually can handle objections pretty intelligently and like answer some complex questions. Then you would just choose what campaigns. If you just want to test it out first, you could always use it on just one of your campaigns if you want to kind of work out the kinks, which I always recommend doing that when it comes to AI. Is like, don't roll something out completely. Always just test it out first and make sure you're familiar with like how it works. And here's where you would prompt the guidelines. We keep it on concise. You could change like the tone of voice to fit your brand. And here you could just type in like new information around like communication style, context, how to hand things over, and just like anything else around like other guidance or maybe just miscellaneous things that you want to include. So this is where you would just kind of customize it. And when you're actually rolling this out and having AI reply to leads for you and book calls for you, this is where you could kind of revisit if you need to change anything or if you're not super happy with the outputs. And here's where it integrates. So it integrates with Slack. So if you use Slack like we do, it can send notifications of every new lead to Slack. And then also it connects to Calendly. So it's not just going to reply to leads. It can actually book meetings for you, which is the main reason why we're using it, because, you know, our clients hire our agency to book meetings for them, right? So it can connect to your Calendly. It can book people in. It can follow up with them. It can suggest times. It's pretty awesome. And honestly, like, I think nowadays it seems like every SaaS tool, every software tool has AI built into it, right? It's like after ChatGPT became viral, every software tool I was using like rushed to just slap on like some AI functionalities. But a lot of them did it poorly. A lot of tools were just like adding in AI just for the sake of saying like, oh, we're an AI first tool, right? But Instantly actually, like, I've noticed that any of the AI features that they've rolled out, they're actually really like thoughtful, intelligent, and actually are useful to the end goal of helping you book more meetings from cold email campaigns. So I definitely love all the AI features they built, and especially this one. I've been pretty impressed with all of them so far, and it seems like there's more to come. But that's pretty much just how you set it up. It's really as simple as that. Here's also, I'm just going to share this file here. Here's a couple of examples of responses. So as soon as Instantly rolled this out, they sent me this PDF with like how it works and example of responses. And here's actual just responses that the AI inbox manager has written. And it's pretty good. You know, there's like standard stuff like this. Like, again, it connects to your Calendly, so it knows like how to actually schedule a meeting for you, which is pretty awesome. It can send just standard response like this, and it's just pretty well written. It doesn't really sound very like AI written, which is pretty cool. Yeah, it's definitely very like contextual to what the situation is. Here's another one. There's one also, if you're running campaigns to send lead magnets, it can actually know like what the lead magnets, what the resources are you want to send, and actually reference that, which is pretty cool. So you can, if you're running like for us, we're running different campaigns. Some campaigns are just booking meetings. Some campaigns are sending lead magnets, but it can basically juggle all that for you, which is pretty awesome. And here's one example that really blew my mind. It actually can answer like a more complex objection or a question. So if you just have to give it a lot of information about your business, but then it can actually be able to answer some of these more complex questions you might get, and pretty thoughtfully, pretty intelligently. So anyways, we just started playing around with this in the last week, and we're rolling it out across a few clients. Loving the results so far, because it's definitely going to help us capture that speed to lead and ultimately book more meetings. So if you've tried it out so far, we'd love to hear how it's going for you, and just where else you're implementing AI into your cold email process. But I'll definitely share some more videos soon on how this has been going for us.
Hey, I'm AJ Casada, co-founder of Revenue Boost. Really hope you enjoyed today's video. If you do, make sure to leave me a comment and definitely subscribe right now so that you're notified of all the cool stuff we're doing, all the cool tactics, tips, and strategies that we share here on the channel. We help B2B companies scale to 7 to 8 figures. We've helped over 400 clients, and we can help you too. And we share some amazing stuff on the channel here. So really hope you enjoyed. And if you do, let me know in the comments, and be sure to subscribe. All right, back to the video.